Hello and welcome to the Ridiculously Good VA Show with Tracy Daviero. If you are a virtual assistant or want to be one, this is the place to learn the tips and tricks you need to become a ridiculously good VA. I've been a part of the VA industry since 1998, and I'm excited to get to know you and help you build an amazing business. Let's go.
Hey there, welcome to another episode of the podcast that teaches you how to be a ridiculously good virtual assistant. Today we're talking about how to handle micromanaging clients with confidence. Today's quote is from James Humes. The art of communication is the language of leadership. I always tell you that mastering your business communication skills is a really important part of running your VA business. Communication is the key to shifting a micromanaging client into a trusting one. Let's go. If you've ever had a client who constantly checks in, questions every step you take, or struggles to trust you to do your job, you are not alone. This is a common challenge for VAs, and the good news is that there are strategies to manage these situations professionally and effectively. By the end of today's episode, you'll understand how to recognize micromanagement and trust issues in your clients, why some clients behave this way, how to set clear boundaries and expectations, how to have a professional conversation to shift the situation. Here we go. Let's start by identifying what micromanagement looks like. Some common signs might include clients who frequently check in, sometimes multiple times a day, clients who try to work alongside you during the workday, requests for updates on tasks that aren't urgent, hesitation to delegate work completely, critiquing how you do things instead of focusing on the results, and asking for unnecessary details or proof of work. Any and all of these can be super frustrating, especially when you know you're handling things well. But before you get upset, it helps to understand why clients act this way, or at least some of them do. Fear of losing control over their business. Past experiences with unreliable freelancers. Lack of understanding about how virtual assistant work operates. Their own personal work habits and insecurities. I had a client once who insisted on working together at the same time of day. I had mistakenly told her that because she was in another time zone, that our work days would cross over in my afternoon or her morning. We have to be careful sometimes of how we tell clients things. They hear what they want to hear. So every day at 1 p.m. my time, my client would email me, "Hi, what are we working on today?" And then at 4 p.m. my time, she would say, "I wanted to get this to you before the end of your workday." Stuff like that, you know? Yeah, that's not how it works. She didn't manage all of my tasks, but she certainly tried to micromanage my workday every single afternoon. And I had to explain to her that isn't how we're supposed to work together. That I was just telling her that our days would still overlap despite us being in different time zones. The damage was done, though, because then I think she thought I was taking away something that I had already promised her or had already given her. This client really did need a lot of hand-holding, but in order to sign her as a client, I probably said some things that I shouldn't have, and then I had to backtrack. Communication was essential with her, and I didn't do the right thing. So the key takeaway here is that micromanagement is often about the client's mindset more than it's about you. Knowing this is going to help you approach your situation with patience and professionalism. When a client constantly questions you, it can make you second guess yourself. Even if you know you're good at what you do, their lack of trust can start to make you feel like you have to prove yourself all the time. And this can lead to increased stress, frustration, slower progress because of constant interruptions, and even loss of motivation or resentment. You know, you see their name in your inbox and you don't want to look at it. But left unchecked, these situations can damage your confidence and make you feel like you're always on edge. And let's be honest, none of us started our businesses to feel micromanaged or undervalued. If you've ever had a client who made you doubt yourself, remember that their behavior is about them and not about you. The best way to deal with a micromanaging client is to prevent the issue from getting worse. Here are a few ways to set boundaries and create a smoother working relationship. Clarify your expectations up front. If you're starting with a new client, make sure you discuss these expectations early on. Even if you're already working with someone, it's never too late to have this conversation. Set clear deadlines and deliverables. Define communication preferences and response times. And be proactive in updating them so that they don't feel the need to check in constantly. Usually what happens is someone asks you because they don't know what's going on with a particular task or project. Use project management tools. Clients often micromanage business because they feel out of the loop. Using a tool like ClickUp or Trello or Asana allows them to log in and see the progress anytime they need to without having to ask you for constant updates. And create a standard check-in schedule. You guys know I'm a big fan of production calls, but instead of allowing them to reach out to you at random, suggest a set time for updates. So a weekly email update summarizing the progress for the week, or a scheduled production call once a week to help review online or ongoing projects. And ensure that you're acknowledging their work requests. This is a really big one. You let them know when they send you something, I got this, I can get it back to you on Thursday, or whatever the case may be. Doing these things helps them feel reassured while giving you the space to work effectively. I used to have production calls with every one of my clients, no matter how big they were or small. Some clients only used 5 hours a month, and we still had a weekly production call. 15 to 20 minutes a week helped us go over the things we were working on or were about to work on. It also helped us to build a relationship with each other. Communication is the key to any good relationship, and a production call can go a really far way in building that good relationship. Be sure to make them standardized with an agenda, a strict agenda, and be brief. Even my 6- and 7-figure business coaches only needed a 20-minute call weekly. Use the call as a high-level overview and then use your project management system to do updates on specific tasks through the rest of the week. If you're spending hours in meetings with your clients right now, let me show you a better way. This is the one thing I hear from virtual assistants that takes up so much of their time and so much of their clients' budgets too. You have to get paid to do their work, not to be in meetings with them. I can show you a better way, honestly, but I digress. At some point, you may need to have a direct conversation with your client about their micromanagement. Here's how to approach it professionally and confidently. Step 1, acknowledge their concern. Start by showing that you really do understand their perspective. Something like, I know that your business is incredibly important to you, and I really appreciate your attention to detail. Step 2 is express your perspective, your POV, as we call it. Help them understand how their approach is affecting your ability to work well or work efficiently. I've found that when I have the space to complete the tasks efficiently, I can produce my best work. Checking in too often is actually slowing things down. Step 3, propose a solution. Offer a plan that reassures them without compromising your workflow. How about we set up a weekly check-in, and I'll send it an update every Friday so that you know you're always in the loop. Step 4, get agreement and follow through. Ensure they're comfortable with the new approach, and then be sure that you stick to it. These conversations can feel intimidating, but they're necessary for a healthy working relationship. The key is to be professional and confident, not defensive. I've had lots of these tough conversations, and they always end up making things better. Well, almost always anyway. But I do get my POV shared, and you should too. When I approached that client I told you about earlier about her behavior, and she did much worse than just trying to work alongside me during our workday. She wasn't aware that she was doing anything wrong. I had to teach her how to work with a VA. I told her that if she worked with anyone other than me as a VA, she would have to do things the same way. But guess what? She didn't like it. And so I ended up telling her that she should hire a part-time assistant in her city. It made better sense for her, and it took the pressure off of me to teach her when I didn't have to do that with any of my other clients. If that's not a lead into working only with your ideal clients, I am not sure what is. Some clients will adjust after a conversation. Others may struggle to change their habits. If you find that things aren't improving, give it a little time. Some clients need a little while to build trust, especially if there was a misunderstanding from the get-go. Be sure to remind them of the boundaries. If they slip back into micromanaging, remind them of what the agreed on structure is. And decide if the client is a good fit. If they continue to micromanage despite your best efforts, you may need to consider whether they're even the right client for you at all. Sometimes we do need to let them go, but the good news is that we don't always need to do that. If you follow some of the advice in this episode, you can change the way that you work with your clients, and you can continue to have a great relationship with them. But know that it's okay to walk away from a client who does not respect your boundaries. The right clients, your ideal clients, will trust your expertise and will work with you in a way that benefits both of you. Let's circle back to today's quote. The art of communication is the language of leadership. You need to act as a leader when you run a business. You need to communicate the important stuff to lead your business well. Micromanaging clients might be frustrating. Yes, they are. But setting clear boundaries and communicating effectively can help you turn these situations around. You're a business owner, not an employee. Remember that, and you deserve to work with clients who trust and respect you. If you found this episode helpful, I'd love for you to share it with another VA who may be struggling with the same issue. And if you want some more support, reach out to me on social media for a chat. I'm on every platform, so just find me where you are and let's talk about it. I'm here to help. It's the only reason I'm here at all, to help you become a ridiculously good virtual assistant. I've helped hundreds and hundreds of VAs get unstuck from the things that are holding them back from creating the VA business of their dreams, and I can help you too. Together we can find the issue you're struggling with and help move you through it. I have a lot of different ways you can work with me: private coaching, group coaching, live workshops, self-study courses, lots of other resources. Check them out at yourvamentor.com/links. Let's talk about which one might be the right option for you. I'm Tracy Daviero, the Confidence Coach for VAs. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Ridiculously Good VA Show. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. For more great resources for your VA business, visit my website at yourvamentor.com. I'll see you back here next time.